Welcome back to HalfmoonsPicks. Week 2 is here in the NFL, and last week I did pretty good. And in the pools, I went 10-4-1 ATS wise, so all my picks did great. But the problem was those 4 that I lost on, 3 of them were my favorite bets. Unbelievable. What are the odds of that happening? But anyway, that did happen. I did fairly well, but again, in the pool, I had my confidence points on those 4. So all my big hitters, I think I'm in 6th place, overall. Here's the standings of the pool: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and I'm in 6th, I believe. I forgot to write it down. Anyway, it's right here. Last week I beat the Browns. I had the Browns with the spread. Seattle and Atlanta were the 2 I lost at the very end, by a hook, of course. And then Detroit just got wailed on. There's nothing more to say about that. Detroit secondary looked trash. The offensive and the new offensive and the new defensive coordinators, they did fairly okay. They're new. So our old ones didn't win. For the Jets and the Bears. So, but they kept it close. So I gotta give them hats off. So this season, I'm gonna pay attention to how well the Jets and the Bears are going to be doing, and the Bears, play in Detroit this week. So that being said, let's get on with the show. My 4th pick of the week, we got the New England Patriots traveling to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a 1.5 home favorite. New England hasn't won in Miami since 2019. They are 0-5 in the last 5 games in Miami. The average score in the last 5 meetings is 28-15, so not even close. Almost double their score every game. So to me, 1.5 points is easy to take. I know Miami did not look good last week against the Colts, but it is what it is. It was an away game. But this game here, New England didn't show anything to me. They lost last week as well. So give me the Miami Dolphins -1.5. And my 3rd pick of the week, we got the Denver Broncos traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are a 2-point home dog. The Colts scored on every possession last game at home, so they're back-to-back home games. Daniel Jones, 2 of 29, 272 yards. No picks and 2 TDs. Oh, 1 TD, I'm sorry. And Bo Nix was the quarterback of the Broncos. 25 of 40, only 176 yards, 1 TD and 2 interceptions. So tell me, who's the better team? Why am I at home getting points? This should be an easy no-brainer. So I'll take the Indianapolis Colts +2. My 2nd pick of the week, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia Eagles this is a pick'em, so there's no point spread on this. It started out as a 1.5 point favorite as Philadelphia. Now it's a pick'em, so I'm actually getting the favorite. Like I said, I love Philadelphia in this. This is last year's Super Bowl where Philadelphia did win 40-22. Kansas City, a lot of people saying, hey, is Kansas City going to lose 2 in a row? Here they are at home. Granted, Kansas City's the 3rd public bet. 3rd place public bet this week. So to me, this is a no-brainer. They got most of the roster on both teams. It was a blowout in the Super Bowl, so give me the Philadelphia Eagles on a pick. And my number 1 pick of the week, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are a 3-point home favorite. Tampa Bay is off of a win. Houston's off of a loss, so do up, do down. You got that. Tampa Bay on back-to-back road games. That's never good. Baker Mayfield versus C.J. Stroud. Again, upper-comer quarterback versus one that's been around the block. Baker Mayfield, he does the job. Don't get me wrong about that. He's a good, average, maybe slightly above average quarterback. C.J. Stroud, good on his legs, good on the throw. Last year he looked outstanding. Last week he didn't look too bad as well. So to me, I think I'm taking the home team on this. Give me the Houston Texans -3. All right, those are my 4 favorite bets for this week. I got my 3-team teaser. and which I didn't cash last week because Detroit lost by double digits, so that kind of screwed me. But the other two legs hit, but doesn't do any good if all three don't hit. So this week I got the Dallas Cowboys at a pick'em. I got the Buffalo Bills minus 0.5, and you can also put it on the money line if you like, and the Seattle Seahawks plus 8.5. Love those three bets. Staying away from my top four and those, because if one hit, what kind of screwed myself because Detroit didn't pick on my top four and also on my 3-team teaser, so it kind of canceled them both out. So this time I picked 3 teams not on my top 4 bets. So one of them about to hit, right? Anyway, let's go run down the whole week. So who I like I said, I was 10-4-1 last week. So you got the Thursday night football game. We got Washington traveling to Green Bay. Green Bay's 3.5-point favorite. You got Green Bay on back-to-back home games. Green Bay 6-0 versus Washington in Green Bay. Washington hasn't won in Green Bay since 1988 with Doug Williams. Yeah, I'll tell you how long that's been. So pretty obvious to say, I like Green Bay in this game, minus the 3.5 points. Next, we got the New York Giants traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams 0-1. New York Giants are on back-to-back road games. This is a defensive matchup, and the Dallas Cowboys are on a long week. Love this game, but it's a divisional game. Might be a good suicide pick is the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, they had extra time to prepare for the Giants. So the Dallas Cowboys are 11-1 at home versus the New York Giants in the last 12 years. The last 4 games, they lost by 7 or more. So the 6 should easily cover. Russell Wilson is 17-37 last week, 168 yards versus Washington, passer rating of 59.3. So not looking good. Like I said, great suicide pick if you pick the Dallas Cowboys. Next we got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the number 2 public bet for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Seattle Seahawks on this one. Do up, do down. I think Seattle's looking for a win. I hope not to go 0-2. Seattle, I thought, looked really well, winning the whole game against San Francisco and then blowing it at the end. So then you got Pittsburgh, you got Aaron Rodgers. I think he's kind of ahead of it. He got a little lucky last week, but that's my opinion. I didn't think he looked all that great against the Jets. Come on now. So I'll give you the Seattle Seahawks plus the 2.5. Next, we got the LA Rams traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are a 5.5-point home dog. Not looking good. I like the Rams in this game. Stafford versus Cam Ward, should be a no-brainer. You got a veteran versus a rookie. That's why it's such a big spread. I said if Denver can win by 8 points, I think the Rams could win by 5.5. So give me the LA Rams minus 5.5 on this one. Next we got the Buffalo Bills traveling to the New York Jets. The Buffalo Bills are a 6.5-point road favorite. Last 3 in the New York Jets are 2-1. And the last game Buffalo won was last year, 23-20. So yeah, it's always close. Yeah, for me, this is awfully close. These 2 teams are real close in this division. New York Jets, obviously with the new coach, So yeah, I'm taking the Jets plus the 6.5. Maybe waiting on game day, sprinkling a few on this divisional game. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are a 3.5-point home favorite. I like Jacksonville in this game. Both teams 1-0. Cincinnati's 4-1 in the last 5 in this matchup. The last time they met was 2021, 24-21. Cincinnati won. So, but I like the quarterback in this matchup, Trevor Lawrence versus Bo Nix. Bo Nix, he looked so good at the end of last season, but he did not shine at all this year. So, but it's only been 1 game, so it's all I'm judging it on. So, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars plus the 3.5 points. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are a 4.5-point home dog. Back-to-back road games for the 49ers. They went This game went from 6.5 points to 4.5 points as the 49ers. A lot of people starting to bet on the Saints. Do up, do down. I'm taking the home team, so give me the New Orleans Saints plus at 4.5 points. If you're one of the lucky ones that got it at 6.5, good for you. Next we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are a 12.5 point spread, the biggest spread for the week. Both teams 0-1. This is a divisional matchup. Baltimore's 4-1 after a loss in last year, 2024. Cleveland's 1-4 the last 5 in Baltimore. So this should be an onslaught. But if you look at the 5-year average score between these two teams, it's 29 to 16 if you average all the scores in the last 5 years. So that gives you 13 points. So that spread is right on that money. So don't take the spread. If you want to feel brave, take the Baltimore on a teaser or Cleveland on a teaser. Yeah, more likely to do Cleveland on a teaser, but you expect the blowout. I don't know. Just stay away from this game. I'm taking Baltimore. Next we got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Detroit Lions. Divisional game. Chicago Bears are on a short week as they played Monday night. This spread went from 4.5 points to 5.5 points. People heavily playing on the Lions after the Monday night loss with the Vikings. Detroit secondary is really struggling last week. They just did last week, like I said, basing on this 1 week. Chicago's 0-3 in Detroit. The last 2 Detroit wins were by 5 or less points. Here it is, 5.5 points. So I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears plus points. I'm not putting any money on it. Can't go against my Lions. But on the pool, definitely picking Chicago. Next, we got the Carolina at Arizona. Carolina Panthers are on back-to-back road games. Carolina won the last 2 in Arizona, believe it or not. But there was Cam Newton, so do up, do down. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. I think that's just way too many points for the Arizona Cardinals, 6.5 points. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not betting on this game either, but for the pool-wise, I'm definitely taking Carolina. Next, we got the Sunday Night Football, Atlanta traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. Atlanta 0-1, Vikings 1-0. This is the #1 public bet, Minnesota. #1 public bet as of this Tuesday night. Minnesota -5. You got Michael Penix Jr. versus J.J. McCarthy. Oh, I know last week I said Kirk Cousins might be playing, which I Googled it and that's what it said. And I was totally wrong on that. But, they might be trading Kirk Cousins back to Minnesota. So, see how that goes. But yeah, too many points for me. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons didn't look too bad, Yeah, I know they got a rookie quarterback, but it is what it is. So, but Minnesota Vikings, they got, he's not a veteran either. So, he's his second year, and the first year he's injured. So yeah. Next we got the late Monday night game, which is the LA Chargers traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders. LA Chargers are a 3.5 point road favorite. This is a divisional matchup as well. Chargers always seem to have the Raiders number on this. So if I were to, put a couple dollars down, it'd probably be the Chargers on this. They look fairly sharp and looked, they pretty much owned the Chiefs last week. So, and the Raiders didn't look good at all. So, yeah, 3.5 points is a small price to pay. So that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, check out some other prognosticators links below. And hey, if you're still not too late to join the pool, all those links are below as well. So prize money to be had. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace.